You're not going to believe what happened. I was just walking with my service dog, minding my own business, when a woman, who I now refer to as Karen, walked up to me, got in my face, and sprayed my dog with something. At first, I thought she was pulling out her phone, maybe to record or call someone. But no, what she pulled out was a small black can. I barely had time to process what was happening before she sprayed it directly into my dog's face. My world went silent. My dog screamed, and that was the beginning of one of the most terrifying days of my life. She had no idea what was about to come next. Cameras were watching. People were watching. And now, she's facing federal charges. This wasn't just rude behavior. It was a federal crime. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the full story, from what she did to what happened afterward to how you can protect your service animals from people like her. Stick around. This one's for justice. Let me take you back to the beginning of the day. It was a Saturday morning around 10 a.m. I was heading to my local grocery store. My service dog, we'll call him Max, was suited up in his vest. He's been trained for years. He's not aggressive, doesn't bark, doesn't react. He just walks beside me and helps with my condition. As we entered the store, I noticed a woman at the entrance looking at us. She had that look. You know the one. The judgmental, angry, I want to speak to your manager face. She muttered something under her breath, but I ignored it. We kept walking. About 2 aisles in, I heard her yelling, loudly. "You can't bring that dog in here," she screamed. I turned around, calmly explained, "He's a service animal. It's allowed by law." But she wasn't having it. She walked up quickly, got way too close, and said, "You're faking it. That's not a real service dog." Before I could even respond, she pulled something from her purse. It was a small black canister. I thought maybe it was hand sanitizer or a pepper spray she mistakenly brought out. But no, she deliberately aimed it at Max's face and sprayed. Max yelped. He recoiled and started gagging. I screamed. Other people around me screamed. Chaos broke out. I dropped to the floor, trying to wipe his eyes, while another shopper grabbed the woman and pulled her back. Someone else called 911. My hands were shaking. I didn't know what she had sprayed him with. Max was coughing, his eyes red and swollen, drool coming out of his mouth. I picked him up, all 60 pounds of him, and rushed out to my car. We raced to the nearest emergency vet. I was crying the entire time. In my head, I kept thinking, what if he's blind now? What if she used bear spray? What if this damages him permanently? The vet took him in immediately. They washed out his eyes, ran tests, and calmed him down. After about 30 minutes, they came back with an update. He would recover, but it was definitely chemical spray. Not perfume, not air freshener. It was mace. The vet documented everything. They even helped me take photos for the police. And thank God, Max was going to be okay. After making sure Max was stable, I headed straight to the police department with a copy of the vet's report. They listened carefully, and when I mentioned there were witnesses and possibly footage from the store's cameras, their eyes lit up. They pulled the footage. It clearly showed her walking up to me, pulling out the spray, and attacking my dog. There was no room for doubt. One of the officers said, "You know, this isn't just a local issue. Interfering with a service animal is a federal crime under the Americans with Disabilities Act." I didn't know that. I thought this would be treated like a misdemeanor or maybe animal cruelty at most. But they assured me, the Department of Justice takes these cases seriously. The police tracked her down within 2 days. Turns out, she was a local resident who had previous complaints filed against her for aggressive behavior. Neighbors had reported her for yelling at kids, calling the police on dog walkers, even slapping a delivery driver once. She had a reputation. When the officers showed up at her house, she denied everything. Claimed she never sprayed anything, said I was faking a disability and that I had an emotional support animal, not a service dog. But the video footage? That shut her down quickly. My lawyer got involved. We filed formal charges, and we requested that this be escalated to the DOJ. After a few weeks of review, they confirmed she would be facing federal charges under 18 U.S. Code Section 1368, which protects service animals assisting individuals with disabilities. Now here's where it gets even crazier. Instead of keeping quiet, she went online. She started posting on Facebook groups, claiming she was the victim, that I was harassing her, that I was part of a scam pretending to have a disability. People started tagging me in the posts. She was even messaging people privately, telling them not to believe my story. I took screenshots. Everything. Eventually, she started receiving backlash. People in her own community turned on her. A few weeks later, we had our first court hearing. She showed up with a lawyer. I showed up with my lawyer, my vet statement, and video footage. It was a short session. The judge made it clear this was serious. The next step? A full trial. She's now facing up to a $10,000 fine and possible jail time. Even if she pleads out, she'll likely have a criminal record. And the judge may order her to undergo mandatory training about disability rights and animal protection. Max is doing better. He's still a little nervous in public, but we're working with a trainer to help rebuild his confidence. Every day, he's slowly returning to the dog I know and love. The dog who saved my life more than once. I never thought something like this would happen to me. But now that it has, I feel like I have to speak out. If this happened to me, it can happen to anyone. That's why I'm sharing this story. To raise awareness, to fight back, and to show that service animals aren't just dogs. They're our partners, our protectors, our lifeline. If you're still watching, thank you. Seriously, your support means everything. Please share this video. Comment below and tell me what you think should happen to her. Should she go to jail? Should the law be even stricter? If you have a service animal or know someone who does, drop a paw prints in the comments so I know you're part of this community. And if you want to learn what to do legally if someone attacks your service animal, make sure you're subscribed. My next video will walk you through everything, the laws, your rights, and how to fight back. Let's make noise for the voiceless. Justice for Max, justice for all service dogs. In this gripping and emotional story, the narrator recounts a horrifying encounter with a hostile woman, dubbed Karen, who unprovokedly sprayed the narrator's trained service dog, Max, with mace inside a grocery store. The attack left Max injured and traumatized, prompting an emergency vet visit and a swift police report. As the investigation unfolded, the woman's aggressive history came to light, and surveillance footage confirmed the assault. The case quickly escalated, and she now faces federal charges under the Americans with Disabilities Act for interfering with a service animal. The video highlights not only the legal consequences she may face, including fines and jail time, but also the emotional toll on both the dog and its owner. The creator uses this powerful personal experience to raise awareness about the rights of people with service animals, urging viewers to support, share, and stand up for justice. Let me know if you want this shortened even more, or tailored for a description box, voiceover, or trailer.